Yes, I am back at Blackstrap. Last week I said this video would probably piss some people off, but we'll get to that part later. First, let's check out something new, or at least new to me.
Alright, we're gonna try saw wet, which I don't think I've ever done before.
This is a blue trail on Trail Forks, but I think it's been reworked and it's got some pretty crazy optional features now, so let's take a look.
Here we go, saw wet trail. Let's stop and take a look at this. Oh, that's the right line. It's just a roll right down that. In fact, while we're here, let's go take a look at this too. This is just a jump down here. Yeah, a little popper. All right. And we'll take the correct line this time. See, that's just like a little wraparound, so they both link up.
There is a little bit of uphill pedaling on this trail.
Ooh.
Look, I'll be honest, this middle section is not the most interesting to me, but it's probably more fun if you're pedaling hard. Having forgotten my water like an idiot on this hot summer evening, I was trying to avoid working harder than I had to here.
But it's a little flat for my taste. But I guess they're trying to milk as much as we can out of the elevation. Here we go. Oh, that's the climbing trail. So that's what crosses. All right, so this is what continues down here.
This is where things get a little more hardcore. Well, too hardcore for me at least.
Ooh, what is this? Now that is some gnarly shit. I'm not hitting that, but I'll get some video of it for the more hardcore of y'all. Inevitably, the GoPro is going to make this look flat as a pancake, but basically, you come down around this turn, you could jump off this rock, and then the landing is right there. Still rooty and pretty steep. I'd say it's probably 10 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, I don't know. It's a decent sized gap for sure. And this middle stuff, you maybe could land here, I don't know, yeah. It's kind of gnarly though. And what's going on down there? There's something down here too. Let's go have a look. Yeah, so this also, again, this is gonna look flat and it'll be really hard to get the texture of it, but so you could jump off that, come down here, hit this thing. This landing is a little bit more flat. This also might be, this is probably rollable on the other side if you're really careful about it, but these are definitely both firmly in the skip column for me, which is cool. Stuff to progress up to. Yeah, so now, walking back up, you might be able to get a taste of how steep this section is, this landing section here. But then let's see. Anything past that is going to be kind of casing it, so that's one bike length, almost 2 full bike lengths. Yeah, so I'd say probably like 10 to 12 feet of gap there. So for those of you who are into that, come and get it. I am going to go around it. Sure.
As you can see, the end of this trail has a very different vibe. All in all, this is a cool trail with some really interesting rock work and surprisingly challenging features. If I'm honest, after climbing all the way to the top of the mountain, I think I'll still probably take Raven back to the bottom more often than I take this trail. But it's definitely a cool alternative line down that somehow I'd never tried before. Speaking of Raven, I did hit that one too, so here's some footage of that while I talk about some other stuff.
I can't remember where the entrance is. There it is.
First, let me just rip a band-aid off here. I'm selling the Jeffsy, and the bike that's replacing it is definitely in a different, more dentist-y price range. I know that's a bummer for some of you who subscribe to this channel because of that bike, and if you want to unsubscribe, I don't blame you. We'll talk about my reasons and what the new bike is in some upcoming videos, but for now I'll say that it is not because I have any complaints about the Jeffsy. In fact, I'll be sad to see it go, and I hope my final review and send-off video will do it the justice it deserves, because this is really a special bike to me. But yeah, all good things must come to an end. It's going to be sold. A couple other notes too. I'm taking next week off from work, which might mean I'm taking it off from making videos too. We'll see how that goes. But in case there's not a new video next week, go check out the I Ride a Bike podcast wherever you get your podcasts, because I'm going to be on the August 31st episode of that, talking about, among other things, my first real OTB and the time I used a bike as an ambulance. So go subscribe to the pod so you don't miss that. Anyway, I hope you get a chance to get outside and ride, and I'll see you next week, or possibly the week after.